Hello everyone. I'm going to quickly explain the retargeting process for my universal animation libraries on the different engines and directly on Blender as well. Animation retargeting is the process of transferring animations from one rig character to another. This way you can use one of my animations in any of your characters. Let's start with Godot. For this example, I'm using the universal base characters and I've imported one of the libraries. First, let's open the library here in the file system. Let's select Skeleton 3D. Over to the right where it says Retarget, we can press here where it says Empty. Bone map. Then select the bone map again, Empty, and Skeleton Profile Humanoid. If you are using one of my libraries, or if you rigged your characters using Retarget, everything should be green. If you used another rig, you might have to manually assign the bones. Let's reimport and do the same thing with the other model. And that's it. We can test it by right-clicking the library, New Inherited Scene, select the animation player, click on Animation, Manage Animations. Let's make the library unique. And save it. Then we open the target rig, New Inherited Scene. We add an animation player, Animation, Manage Animations, Load Library. We select the library we just saved, and we can pick any of the animations and see them on the new character. Okay, so Unity is one of the easiest ones. After you import the library, first we turn on Bake Axis Conversion and reimport. Then we have to convert the rig to humanoid. We can check here that the bones have been mapped correctly. If you are using Retarget or one of my libraries, you shouldn't need to do any manual work. Otherwise, if the naming scheme of your rig wasn't automatically detected, you might need to assign bones here. Remember to also assign the root bone. And you can turn on the looping of all the animations that end in _loop before doing a final reimport. And that's it. You can test it by creating an animation controller with one of the library animations dragged in. Then, if we assign this animation controller to a character, we can see that the animation plays. All rigs that are humanoid in Unity can share animations. In Unreal, the process is also very simple. When importing the library, make sure there's no skeleton assigned here. Sometimes Unreal can fill that in with another skeleton you have in your project. We're also going to make sure that we have import animations turned on, as well as this use 30 Hz to bake animation and snap to closest frame boundary. Since the library has been animated to 30 FPS, these settings just make sure that you don't have any weird jitters or frames. After we have the library and our destination model imported, we just need to right-click one of the imported animations, press Retarget Animations, And here we have to assign our target rig. I'll be using the regular male for this example. And if we double click any of the animations, you should see a preview. We can select the ones we want, or select all of them, and export. If we drag this model into the scene, we can assign one of the retargeted animations. Let's start with Blender. If you're using the models in an engine that doesn't have retargeting, like Tree.js, you can do it directly in Blender. It's not as straightforward, but it can be done. To retarget directly in Blender without using any add-ons, we need both the source and destination rigs to have the same name scheme. For this reason, and because it's very compatible with Godot, Unity and Unreal, I recommend using Retarget. There's a link below where you can download the add-on with instructions as to how to install it. I'll quickly go over how to rig a new character. After installing Retarget, we can create one of these meta rigs, pre-made templates for specific proportions. There is a quaternions section that has the proportions from my universal base characters, but at the end of the day we can easily adjust them just by going into edit mode and moving the bones around. I recommend not messing too much with the angles of the fingers, because that can mess the rig up. Once we're done with it, we can press the Generate Rig button. And then convert to Retarget rig. Our meta rig will still be there. We can just hide it with H in case we want to tweak it and regenerate later. This is not a weight painting tutorial, but we can easily do the auto weights by first selecting our mesh, then shift selecting the rig, Ctrl P with automatic weights. We can put the rig in pose mode to move it around and test that it got rigged. Also, if you pause it and want to go back, you can select everything with A, and to reset the rotation, location and scale, we can do Alt-R to reset rotation, Alt-G to reset location, and Alt-S to reset scale. Now that our character is rigged, we'll just have to go to File, Append, and find the .blend file for the Universal Animation Library. Double click it, open the Action folder, and here we can choose which animations we want to import. If you want to get all of them, just select the first one, scroll down, and shift select the last one. One thing before appending our animations, make sure you have Fake User turned on here at the right. Even if the animation isn't assigned to anything, it still keeps them in the Blender file. Otherwise, Blender will just delete the animations. And that's it for Blender. You can open an action editor and with the rig selected, pick any of the animations and you should be able to see your character moving around. There's an image with the best export settings for Godot, Unity and Unreal in the animation library files. You can always check that out, they are up to date. Hope some of that was useful and have a nice day.